I think the changes that we see in Sri Lanka is, I had a meeting with the Registrar General's Department just last week. So the progress they are reporting is the land titling system is, title registration system is going on. And once you move to the title registration system, the collateral value of the lands will go up, and hopefully that will unlock a lot more economic potential. But we have the deed system that has been in place for the last 300 years, a fairly good system that worked. But to shift from the deed to the title, you need to do a cadastral survey. One is that's very costly. And number two is, some people have left their properties of 10 perch blocks to 3 children. And because of minimum size demarcation, you can't divide them. So then you are not entitled to get a title, because the title can only go to one person. You can have these mixed titles. So because of that, I think the migration for a totally title-based registration will take a lot more time. But one thing that I was really impressed with the meeting with the Registrar General was the amount of progress they say they are making. I never saw it in terms of digitization. So they are going to very soon have digital records. I think they are able to even give access to your own title. If you want to see your deed, you can actually go there and see. So I asked them whether they're using things like blockchain technologies to avoid. They said the system and they envisage it differently, but these are things that can be done. And now, because of the imperatives in terms of tax collection, they said they can even have a system where through the use of your ID card number, you can identify how many lands or properties you own. So in terms of protection of property rights, I think the first thing is the identification of the property. Once you identify it, then your protecting is a different matter. So for protecting, we come back to the courts, which we have dealt in detail. But don't forget, in Sri Lanka, about 80 to 85% land is state-owned. Rest is only 20% is private owned. The whole debate is on this 20%. Whereas the state land is concerned, there is a very complicated legal regime, which I say we have inherited from the British. Running in some laws are about good 100 and 150 years old. So we are very scared to allow them to change it, because as an island, land in this place won't grow. So it's in our DNA that every time somebody tries to give land away, either irrational or rational, fear comes in, and there's a whole public backlash, and which some politicians will sort of utilize and go. That's why it stopped the land bank issues, and all those things were stopped because of some people sort of fed into this fear and got it going. So yes, we need to deal with the land issues. I think now there are a few good things have come. If the digitization goes well, then your titles will be protected. Now the recent law that allowed you to recover lease properties through a summary procedure, that will unlock a lot of availability of housing and land, especially for middle class housing problems, especially in urban areas. This will have a big impact, because people will not be scared to rent out their houses, because it can be recovered very fast.